couldn't even get one over the plate. Well,
It's
screwed ourselves out of one.
it's so frustrating. The one thing I'll say is I was pleased that they were a lot more aggressive with the bats. That
Yeah.
at least says something there. But
There we go.
I mean, definitely a winnable game. So I don't know. Chances are we're live now. We'll see.
Yep, we are.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We considered doing a special show last night, and I opted against it because I think the anger and the alcohol really would have just been a little too present.
Yes.
But welcome back. It's the Evan and Aaron show, and there's, it's like I said, what the hell did we all just watch Wednesday? So we'll jump right in it because there's really nothing else to talk about other than the Reds stranding multiple runners in extra innings.
My gosh. How can you waste? We were just talking about that. How can you waste a performance like Bauer just gave?
Very frustrating. In case you didn't know, Trevor Bauer threw 7 2/3 with 12
hits,
12 strikeouts, and no walks, which only 2 other pitchers, one of which was named Tom Seaver, did. So,
what a hack! What a hack!
Yeah, of course. And rest in peace recently, Tom Seaver, great one. Let's again jump right in. Hope everybody got that joke. We all just watched a shit show last night. Absolutely. Hey, my doggy.
Hey, there we go.
Well, he's in the house.
I was gonna say you said shit show, and he's like, oh, well, let me weigh in on this.
Let me be a part of this.
Yeah.
All right, lay down, puppy. We saw an absolute shit show last night. There's no question about it. And I think we can attack this from a few different angles, but I'm just going to start out with Evan, just your initial takeaways from that 90 minutes we watched last night.
That 90 minutes, man, last night was a glimpse, I think, a picture of what we as a collective has allowed to kind of simmer, underneath the surface here in America. I think that, gone are the days. And once again, we've been heralding this for years, Aaron. I remember us sitting and, talking at the tap. We have lost the ability to have civil discourse. We've lost the ability to the phrase, well, let's just agree to disagree. That's out the window now.
Yeah.
That has no place in our society anymore. No place, because the fact of the matter is it's long gone. The fact of the matter is that, man, look, I had my 15-year-old daughter. Matter of fact, she's sitting right here. Everybody, do you want to say hi to everybody? No, she said no.
Hi off screen.
Okay, so there you go. But she was sitting there, and literally at the end, I turned to her and I had to apologize. I had to friggin' apologize because as a kid growing up, through the Reagan years and Carter and I'm showing my age here, Ford, and Clinton, the first Bush, second Bush, all of the guys that, and then finally Obama. Like, we have never seen a country like this. This is when people make the comparison to Nazi Germany. I know people roll their eyes. I know they do, and I get it because obviously it's a total different situation. But what I'm scared of is this mindset that we have, man. This mindset that we have, that it literally is us against them.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the beginning of a division of a country. Like when it becomes like palatable. It's one thing to say Republicans against Democrats, right? I mean, we say that all the time. But when you start it gets down to human beings. When it gets down to, I don't care, and this is the last thing I'll say, and then I want to hear from you, man. But, I am trying my best, brother, to limit myself as far as what I expose myself to. But today I got into a discourse with somebody that literally in these words came out. You're entitled to your opinion, Evan, and I'm entitled to mine. And I'm like, but but you, how can you have an opinion on whether your president can't admit that? Well, anyway, we'll talk about that later. But how can you have an opinion on when your president just flat out doesn't say something or
Yeah.
does something? There's no opinions to be had. It is fact. It came out of his mouth. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And nobody can convince me any different as far as, oh, well, it was a slip. I don't think it was a slip at all. I don't think it was a slip.
No, and like I said, we'll touch on that later. But to your point about how to have civil discourse and civil disagreement, and Whitney tuning in. Thank you, Whitney, because no one knows how to do it anymore. Whatever happened to deliberative dialogue? I agree with that, and it goes along with what I was just saying. But I also think what we have seen more and more, and specifically under this particular president, how he speaks, how he interacts, and how he chose to debate last night. And that is basically when you don't have ideas, when that your message doesn't really have any weight behind it, and that you don't stand to gain anyone, right? You really stand to lose because you don't have an argument. That's when you call people names. That's when you raise your voice. That's when you talk over people. That's when you attempt to change the subject. And that was the entirety of what we saw from Donald Trump last night. He began with that. He began very early on talking over both Joe Biden and Chris Wallace. And until Chris Wallace decided to really be firmer and take control, it was a little bit in Trump's favor, to be fair, because when you allow someone to control the rules of the game and in such a way, then you're sort of forced to play that way. That's unfortunate.
Which I want to talk about Chris Matthews later, though, man. But go ahead.
For sure. But to the larger point, Trump is but a manifestation of a culture and a behavior and an attitude that has been going on in some form or another for decades, and he merely embodies it. He's a walking, talking piece of cognitive dissonance. Everything about him is a contradiction. He's a successful businessman who had to lie about the valuations of his companies. His success as a businessman is because he hires lawyers who understand bankruptcy law very well. He's the manliest man who got a deferment for bone spurs. He's the smartest guy in the room, but won't show you his grades. He's
right.
He paid millions in taxes, but you can't see his tax returns. All these things, oh my God, Obama golfs too much. And yet has spent 289 days, literally 289 days in 4 years. The man has spent almost 1 full year playing golf. All of these are contradictions. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but he's going to help the everyman. So literally everything about him is such a contradiction. So he has to put forth this loud, brash, manly man kind of image. And the funny thing is Joe Biden has bought into that previously. I'll kick your ass, let's go outside and all that stuff. Let's do push-ups. But last night he shied away from it, and I think early on that hurt him. And look, in the annals of presidential debates, "Would you shut up, man?" is going to be remembered forever for the absolute lack of respect it shows to the office and the man, the unfortunate circumstances that would lead someone to say that, and the righteousness with which the man said it on behalf of millions of it.
All of us.
Would you just shut up, man? Is probably something that has been uttered 1 billion times since 2016. And it's just,
if you notice, there were times whenever Joe would say something and Trump had little or no rebuttal.
Yeah.
Like when he called him when he called him a racist. I'm not sure he said anything, or he could say anything, or he was mumbling something. He,
Mhm.
if someone calls me a racist, okay, I'm gonna be like, whoa, pump brakes, hang on, let me address that right now,
Yeah.
please. You know, and not try and cut anyone off like he was doing, but just be
Mhm.
like, whoa, that's significant. He never did that, man. He never did that. And what was so interesting about it is that I looked at both, well, not both, but I looked at a lot of different news outlets afterwards, and I watched Fox News. And it, if Trump is the lowest form of human life, um, Sean Hannity is his butthole. Okay,
Oh
it's just
yeah.
it is
They go.
it
They go. They
he
are
is
the
the
human centipede of.
oh my God, yes. I mean, it was so horrible. Like this guy, I, I, I turned it and Danae was still here, so please don't report me to DCS because that's, that's neglect. That is parental neglect. Anyway, I turned it and he literally, we looked at each other within 1 minute of the garbage that he was spewing and saying, did he watch the same thing we did?
Right.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, but
The only,
he,
it was crazy.
Sean Hannity's show was written before the debate.
Oh, yeah,
They
I know.
they have a narrative they're pushing, as does CNN and MSNBC. That I chose to watch WRTV, which they've got.
Okay.
They had talking heads on after, but it didn't feel nearly. Sorry, Indy 11 on almost scored.
Okay. Yeah,
Did
no.
not feel nearly as pre-scripted,
Yeah.
and it I'm sure these people have their political points of view, and I gathered that they were probably moderate, probably more Democrat than Republican, but it wasn't in your face, right?
Yeah.
Where I guess they did
I,
have I
I gotta be,
left everything on, and I guess
yeah,
eventually did see Chris Christie on, and even Chris Christie was like, Trump just came out way too hot. There's
what,
you can't
yeah.
just immediately come out that way, but
I have, yeah, I gotta say, man, real quick, that MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, and I get what people are saying about CNN, MSNBC, that, oh well, they're just as left as Fox News is right and stuff like that. I really like, um, Rachel Joy and oh, what's the other lady's name that was a Republican strategist? Ah,
is it
anyway, they do.
is it
No,
Anna Cabrera? Is that her name?
no, 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 no. Anyway, they do a phenomenal job, and they were real last night, man. They
Ra-
were just real. They were like, look, we had a script, we had
Rachel's
something we were
smart.
going to say. Yeah,
Rachel
and
is incredibly smart, and when she doesn't get lost in a little bit of her own narrative, is her best stuff. When she just keeps it straightforward about the issue. I agree with you. I absolutely
I
do. And I haven't
yeah,
watched Joy since she moved to MSNBC, but I've always liked her too.
mhm. Yeah, great. Nicole Wallace, yeah,
Oh
they just wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful,
absolutely.
and
Well, and Ari
here,
Melber's
yeah,
great. Ari Melber's
yeah,
awesome. I mean, anybody who can slip in like notorious Big lyrics into the middle of a conversation about the Pope visiting South America,
yeah.
you know that. I mean, that's just talent right there. I
That's
mean,
good journalism.
I want to see
That's good
Jesse
journalism.
Waters pull that shit off.
I tell you, man, I was we could dissect this all night long and just talk about what went wrong and what was this and that, but the fact is that I think this left so many of us so shell shocked. Speaking to my students, my class, and I felt my mind wandering, and I was not present,
Mhm.
and I think that it was the residual effects from the emotional battering that I think all of us
Mhm.
took last night. I think that there was a tweet that Ibram Kendi tweeted out and said, I wonder how many people are triggered by this. And he's right. I mean,
Yeah, it's like
sitting there watching this, it was distressing. It was disheartening. I think emotionally speaking, I would almost be willing to bet that either you slept like a baby last night because you were so emotionally drained that you just literally flopped into bed, or you tossing and turning last night. I just don't think there was a happy medium. I
I
don't.
chose the third option and drank myself into a stupor and passed out on the couch. So I slept like a baby, but my knee hurt because I was in a weird position. Um,
There you go,
well,
brother.
yeah, I mean, it's I would probably compare it to being a little kid and your parents are drunk and arguing with each other. That
Hmm.
it's just talking over one another. Really, after a while, just cheap shot after cheap shot, and it was embarrassing. Look, I don't think anybody expected Lincoln Douglas was going to happen last night. Okay, um, but there was Chris Wallace attempted to set some ground rules, and Joe Biden would have liked to have held what passes for a debate nowadays. Because let's be honest, they don't debate. They don't
No,
debate like fucking Harvard and Yale,
no.
at competition. They agree on these things. They probably get an opportunity to at least control certain aspects of the narrative. It's the standard 2 minutes and a 30-second rebuttal, and a rebuttal if you've been asked a direct question. But that's just, it's not real. Look, in previous debates, smart guys just bounced right into their stump speeches when
Hmm.
they needed to go for time, right?
Yep.
They know how to not answer a question by answering it another way. Chris Wallace, in fairness, eventually came around and you know took a bit more, as much as you can, short of cutting his mic, which at some point, I mean, that might,
Yeah.
I saw a thing today where the debate commission was like that. In so many words, like that was a shit show and we're going to change some rules.
Yeah.
And my response was, I think, we need Mike Dean and VAR. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
Look, he'll penalize. Yes. Went to the review board. You
Hmm.
shut the fuck up.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, VAR says you are marginally shut the fuck up. It
Hey guys, what does STFU mean? I have no idea what that means. No idea.
it just it was embarrassing. It was taxing. You know, again, like I said, I was not expecting to hear, um, you know, William Jennings Bryant breaking out great legal theory or anything, but there are real issues facing this country, real issues that have been exacerbated by the person in
Mm,
office, exacerbated by culture, exacerbated by COVID, which,
mhm.
look, COVID wasn't Donald Trump's fault. The response to COVID is Donald Trump's fault. We would
Yes.
have lost tens of thousands of people had Hillary Clinton or Joe
Yep.
Biden or you or I been in office.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, to downplay what has occurred, to ignore his failed response, is to frankly ignore reality. It's like pointing out, hey, 75,000 people or however many die from breast cancer each year, and your response shouldn't be, yeah, but what about all the people who didn't get breast cancer?
Yeah.
You know, and
Right.
and the debate should at least be a place where that question gets asked directly and in a manner that either forces a person to have a good answer to the question. And look, sometimes the best answer to a question is an issue that you didn't do well on, because that shows your ability to learn and grow
Mm-hmm.
politically,
Yeah.
humanly, so many ways. But it's also an opportunity of, if you completely avoid the question, and we'll get to avoiding the question here in a couple minutes, but if
Mm,
you completely avoid the question, it's like they say, you know, those that choose not to decide still have made a choice. Like,
yeah.
your inability, your unwillingness is actually a decision. It tells me something about you, and it behooves us all to take that into account. And I don't think anybody won that debate last night. There are very,
Mm-hmm.
very few high points that you can point to for anyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but all of us lost in that debate
Yeah.
last night. And that's what you're talking about. That's this mental anguish, because,
Yes.
a lot of people want to sweep it under the rug. Oh, I don't follow politics. I don't do that. Well, that's great, but that means you're Nero fiddling while the city burns around you, because the rest of us are paying attention. And it's
Yeah.
taxing to be in a world where I'm like, I don't really hate anybody. So why do you hate me? And nothing I'm doing is trying to harm you,
Yeah.
right?
And but yeah,
Shit you're
by the
doing is
way,
actively harming other people.
yes. And by the way, anybody out there that says, "Hey, I don't really do politics. I don't like that because it just is too cumbersome." That is the epitome of privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just hey, that's just
It
your
is.
thing. You're gonna have to work through. You're
Straight
gonna
up.
have to work through it because I don't have that luxury. I
No.
can't not watch politics and be involved. I'm sorry, but
And
anyway, I'll
and
get off that soapbox.
and
Go
and
ahead.
me personally, I mean, I feel civic minded. I've always, I unfortunately I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve quite a bit.
Mhm.
I admit that the world affects me on days, as much as you want to pretend that's not the case.
Mhm.
I do kind of rise and fall with the tides a little bit, and this is heavy. And
Yeah.
it's, I think about just this year, just what we've gone through this year, and I I think I have to be involved, because I know you, because
Mhm.
I know other people of color in this community. I know gay people.
Mhm.
Um, I know women. I know
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know a lot of people that, if we continue on the path we are, uh, shit's gonna get worse. And
Yeah.
I can't be, well, they came for the Jews and I wasn't a Jew, so I didn't say anything. I can't be, I wish I could remember the name of that speech, but
Yeah. No, no,
I,
no. No,
I,
I get it. I get it.
I can't be that guy. So when we talk about, are we being a little alarmist to invoke Nazi Germany? I don't know, man. Because honestly, maybe right now is the equivalent of about, I don't know, 1937.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
bet in some
Now
places
I
you
was
were
going to
just
be
like,
I was
I
going
don't
to be
know.
a little bit I was going to be a little more hopeful. Like I was going to say mid 30s, early mid
Well,
30s. I'm
the
like,
problem
okay,
is,
yeah, yeah,
how do you
just a
know?
little more hopeful.
How do you
Right.
make a proper comparison? And
You don't.
for those who say, well, that's alarmist, that's hyperbole. Hey, look, we have protests going on in this country, and we have violent response to it. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can dislike Black Lives Matter all you want. You can dislike the protests, but if you claim to want to live in a free country, you have to honor and respect the right to gather, because you'd have
Yeah.
been super pissed if police would have just gone full batons and tear gas on the people who surrounded the governor's mansion and the state courthouse in Michigan way back in fucking May or whenever it was. So
Mhm.
you obviously think it has value. I I don't know.
Here's
I'm running astray. This is supposed to be
no, no, no.
about the
It's okay. It's
debates,
okay.
but
Because I'm gonna bring us back. I'm gonna bring us back, and then we're going to halftime. Here's the glaring, obvious thing for me. Over 300 million Americans. I'm not going to say all Americans. I'll say the majority of Americans. There you go. Watched our democracy get kicked in the nuts last night.
yeah,
Um,
repeatedly.
we have heard nothing from the Senate Majority Leader. We've heard nothing from Lindsey Graham. We've heard nothing from Jim Jordan about.
Thank God.
Uh, yeah, some things are blessings, but we've heard nothing from the Republican leadership in response to the fact that how Trump represented the Republican Party. You and I both know that this is not the Republican Party. This is Trump's party. However, you are the one that has a big fat ass elephant behind your name.
Mm-hmm. And
And
you've rubber
so,
stamped him for most of his terms.
absolutely. And so, you know what? Here's the thing. Here is yet another opportunity. And you know what? I would still have negative respect for each of those guys, but it would be like they answered one question on Jeopardy right, and they were already in the negative, and it just brought them a little bit closer to zero. It would be that for me if one of those guys were to stand up and say, you know what, look, last night was so unpresidential. This was not representative of what we want this office to be. Now, I know that if you are a Republican and you say that and you step out of line, and I really purposefully chose my word there, step out of line, kind of like North Korea. But if you step out of line, you are committing political suicide. I get it. But at what point in history does the thread of morality take over of the thread of money? Where? The time is now. And it's got to happen.
Where are the Mitt Romneys, the Jeff Flakes, the people who have nothing to lose? Mitt Romney's not losing his seat. Jeff Flake is retiring. Where Chris Christie? Where are the people who aren't beholden to Donald Trump in the Republican Party?
Where's Susan Collins?
I mean, obviously,
where's Murkowski?
Well, Murkowski and Collins are running for their seats right now. They ain't going to say shit.
Yeah.
The most they're going to do is stay quiet about the Supreme Court, and as long as Mitt Romney. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're Republicans, and you have an opportunity to put another SCOTUS. I mean, that we did this last week. Look.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of not mad at them, right?
I'm not. No, and I'm there. I'm there.
As John Oliver said the other night, we're at the end of a generational culture war, and what hurts the most is we lost. We're going to be down 6-3. Even beating Donald Trump right now, we would have to set a shit ton of things in motion to reorganize the Supreme Court. I mean, that for generations to come, we just sank hard right. So we have to focus on what we can get now. And
in my opinion, it's got to be the Senate and the House. Yeah. I mean, I know we want Biden. I get it. I want Biden. Well, but worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario is that we take hold of worst case scenario is we lose everything, and I end up moving to Belize.
Belize? Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking beach bar.
No.
I'll be the gringo who shows soccer and football all day long on the weekends.
Do you think I could pass as a Russian with the
why would you
accent?
Why wouldn't you just come down as be like
because they're going to rule the world anyway. That's what they're going to.
I think the Chinese are really going to take the lead before too long here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I think we're about to halftime, and I want to claim halftime because we've not really done a big thing on who we doing a shout out to and all that stuff. But I read something today, and I think it's relevant to what we were just discussing. And people talk about like, well, politics don't affect me. I'm going to ignore politics, blah 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 blah. And you say that, but we've got a mutual friend that she used to work at Chatham Tap, so I think this counts. So she gets to be the shout out. We played trivia. She's a Chelsea fan. I don't hold that against her. She's a good Chelsea fan.
Hey, go blue.
And she is a lesbian and recently fell in love and married her partner, and they are pregnant. It's wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
But previously in her life, and especially today, in discussing things with what went on last night, she's been abused. She's been harassed. She's been made to feel less than. And if there's any positive thing that this show brings about, it's that one, I'm an ally, you're an ally. We're allies in multiple ways. And I won't take that kind of shit. And that's the practical reality of what we're getting rid of. When you talk about like, oh, it's not bad, hey, stock market's doing okay. Yeah, except this person is trying to make my friend's life less than. They're trying to make my friend's ability to have a loving, fulfilling life a non-reality. They're trying to take that away. And I don't stand for that shit. So right here and now, this is my shot. This is my shout out. Steph and your lady.
Steph and Sam.
Your pregnant lady, Sam. Fucking stay strong. That's some bullshit. I got your back. We got your back. This community has your back. And we think you're amazing. And we love you. And don't let the fuckers get you down.
There you go.
Sláinte.
Okay, so after our broadcast, Aaron, I'm going to need you to drop some names because I know people, and we're going to have to stab somebody. So I'm just saying.
We going ride or die on a motherfucker.
Man.
All right. So for the second half, like we touched on, there weren't very many highs about last night's debates. I think, to be fair, first landed punch was probably Trump. He spent the first probably 15, 20 minutes controlling the tone of the debate. Wallace looked weak. Biden looked a little confused. And when he did get a chance to respond, he wasn't the cleanest. I think once Wallace began to take a firmer grip on things and and really assert himself and try to control, more parameters of things, that gave Biden more confidence. Obviously, telling the president of the United States to shut up, not the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. I got to be honest. I was a little shocked.
I get it.
But
I get it.
At the same time, it's kind of the only appropriate response in the moment.
Resonated with millions of Americans.
I think any opportunity Biden got to, really assert policies that he had success with, he did well. Toward the end, his main strengths were just basically ignoring Donald Trump. And speaking, he stopped looking at Chris Wallace. He found camera one, looked it right in the eye, and spoke to America, about, veterans, about, issues that were important to him. Speaking about Bo, and how any man, let alone a father, could interrupt another father talking about losing their son, is unconscionable to me. But I guess we shouldn't be surprised. But there weren't. That was a pretty shitty heavyweight fight, and I'm glad we didn't have to pay $59.99 on Showtime for it. And there were a lot of lows, and there were a lot of lies, but we've alluded to it earlier, so I want to get to it now. The president of the United States was asked point blank to condemn white supremacy in general, white supremacist groups specifically. He refused to do so. It's just incredibly tacky back and forth between all three of them. And again, Trump's, he commanded the narrative by saying, name one. And, Proud Boys is a fucking ridiculous organization and deserve to be repudiated in the strongest of terms.
Mhm.
But two things happened. One, Joe Biden said the words Proud Boys, which one elevated them. And secondly, they're not a white supremacist group. I hate to split hairs, but they're right-wing nationalists who claim to be above white supremacy and Nazis and the KKK because they allow the occasional gay Indian in. But let's face it, they're pieces of shit. And Gavin McInnes has pretty much washed his hands of the group he created because he realizes that walking around with a stupid goatee and a bow tie and a vest and like a high and tight that Hitler had really makes you punchable. And he's just going to catch hell for the rest of his life. So I don't think he really wants anything to do with that. And they also carry around machetes. I mean, come on, eat a dick. But following this exchange, the president of the United States said, Proud Boys. So we repeated the name. We elevated them again. And then he said, stand back and stand by. Now, in the matter of less than 30 seconds, the leader of the free world refused to denounce the general idea of white supremacy, universally loathsome. I don't really think that requires a lot of discussion. And then encouraged a known right-wing terrorist organization to be on call.
Yep.
There's almost no other way to interpret it. The man has retweeted Proud Boys posts. He knows who they are, despite saying he doesn't know who they are today. Of course, anytime Donald Trump says he doesn't know who somebody is, he had sex with them. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
it's kind of a given. I don't know who this person is. No, turns out you were in a threesome with him. He knows who the Proud Boys are. And the Proud Boys today have turned that statement into a logo. Look, the man was endorsed by the Klan, David Duke, and after he was elected, groups like what Stormfront or National Storm, whatever the fuck their stupid names are, said, finally we have somebody who agrees, with our ideology. Sometimes it is the company you keep, and we've known for decades the guy's a racist. We've known for decades he's a shitty businessman. Somebody dug up a Mad Magazine cartoon from 1992 making fun of him about him pretending to be rich and not really being rich. So, I mean, how long do we need to do this? And he's just universally a terrible human being. And I'll say it again. If you support Donald Trump, I don't know if you personally are a racist, but you're okay with somebody doing racist shit in the name of your vote. Mm-hmm. Evan, what the fuck did you think when you heard him say that last night?
I think for me, it's the old adage: if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, smells like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
Cook that shit.
You're right. We can split hairs over the Proud Boys. We can split hairs over them.
I'm kind of being facetious with that.
No, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't even know if I should say their name. I'm going to anyway. The SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're a great organization. A lot of people think they're left extremist, which I laugh at. They literally
Jesus
have told us
was a leftist extremist.
Exactly. They have literally told us that the Proud Boys are hate.
Yeah.
They're not founded on white supremacy. But once again, they were one of the major contributors to the organization of Unite the Right in Charlottesville. Yeah. We know what happened there. A lot of Blood on the soil. Wow, I just did that. We know what happened there. We know the rhetoric that they spew. We know the fact that they are not only, white nationalist rhetoric that they spew, but also anti-Muslim,
Yeah,
misogynistic. And so
their
here's the
ideology
thing.
is anti.
Exactly. So here's the thing. For me, watching the debates last night, and once again, in my own context, as a black man in Indiana, I'm sitting here and I'm watching this, and I'm seeing our president not have trouble, but literally asking for what words to say.
Yeah,
Did you catch that? He like when Chris Wallace called him out, and even when
but it's
Biden was,
clever, Evan. It's clever.
it's very clever. But when he's asking for what to say, which you're right, I think it was very clever, because it's like, okay, well, they made me say it, or see this, I'm saying exactly what they want me to say. It's like that. It's like when your mom like puts you, face to face with your brother and say apologize, and you're like, sorry. You're saying the words, but you couldn't fucking care if you're
Yeah.
sorry or not, right?
Yep.
It,
Yep.
it, that's exactly what this was. And sitting here watching this as a black man, I'm literally coming face to face with the fact that our president, despite the platinum plan, which, if you don't know what the platinum plan is, guys, Google it and be prepared to throw up a little bit in your mouth, because it is nothing but a ploy to get the African American vote. Um, I looked at this man and said, this is not a president for me.
Well,
He's not for me. Like, if you can't protect me from this type of element, right? If you can't protect me from this as an American citizen, if you can't protect me, if you can't stand up for me, if you can't take a stand, if you can't fucking say the words that are necessary to look your people in the camera, all 300 plus million of us, and say white supremacy is shit. It's terrible. It has no place in America. And as the one of the few presidents of this entire land, I am sorry that it has ever been here. And here's what I'm going to do to make sure that white supremacy is as suppressed as possible in our nation. If you can't say something like that, and people want to say, oh, well, he said it. He said it. I can read something that was written for me. I hereby denounce white supremacy and all forms of bigotry in the United States. Yeah, that's the whole, I'm sorry. You don't mean that shit. Because when left to his own devices, here's the Trump that we all know was going to show up.
Mhm.
So, like you said last week, my friend, why the hell are we surprised?
Yep.
Why are we so shocked? Why are we so oh no, he isn't. It's like, no shit. When you take your coat off in the middle of winter, you're going to have goosebumps. Guess what? It's fucking middle of January, and this bastard is shirtless. Like, you see now every single piece of shit thought he has in his brain.
Well,
And
the,
that's it.
the
I mean,
he's first off, guys talked about how great he's going to be for the black community for years, and pretty much just rode the coattails of a thriving Obama economy, and then did a few things
exactly.
that created short-term gains, and unemployment was falling, so he took credit for that.
Yeah.
Black unemployment was falling, so he took credit for that. But it was
Yep.
already happening, and it continued to happen. Fine, I cool. It continued on your watch. I have no issue admitting that. But he's had years, much like, I've got a better healthcare plan than Obamacare, but I just haven't released it yet. You've had 3.5 years to do this. Hey, you've had 3.5 years to release something approaching the platinum plan, and you didn't. And gosh, what a coincidence that the platinum plan comes out right around the exact same time of a report showing how your campaign in 2016 targeted 3.5 million black men for deterrence to keep them from voting. The man is a racist.
Yeah.
He's an overt racist.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear B-roll video of Donald Trump saying the N-word to know this. Okay, that's not how it works.
Nope.
Okay, I don't need that. All right, and he appeals to those people.
Real quick, I want to say,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
No,
go. I wasn't really going anywhere other than to say, like,
well,
I'm not going to try. It is not my job to try to like convince the black community one way or another of anything. That is, if somebody wants to engage me and have a conversation, that's fine. I offer my opinion, but that's not my role. But I'm offering information saying, if by chance you think the platinum plan sounds good, let me just juxtapose that with, he wants to disenfranchise you if he can. And take that as you will. Go ahead. I got nothing else.
You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I was going to piggyback on something that you said earlier, and it was, another narrative I saw throughout the day, and that was, well, Joe Biden didn't denounce Antifa.
Well, except Joe Biden did say Antifa's an idea. Your own FBI head of the FBI said Antifa's an idea.
Yeah.
Proud Boys are a real organization.
I had to take a breath. I had to literally take a cleansing breath, because I'm so fed up with people trying to, when you have people trying to defend you, right? When you have people trying to defend you, it's usually because somebody is trying to injure you, or someone is trying to bring some type of injury towards you, whether that's physical or whatever. People rally around, it's the whole Rage Against the Machine, rally around the family. I'm like, hey, I'll do that. When you have people defending somebody with deflection, that signifies, in our friend Linda McIntyre's watching, and Linda is an incredible psychologist, and she can probably back me up on this or correct me if I'm wrong. She'll probably put a boot in my ass if I'm wrong. But if you're deflecting for somebody, there's a part of you that knows that what that person did was wrong. And I don't know that we know how to tap into that. Once again, I think it comes back to what we were talking about last week. I think people are scared to be wrong. I think people are really, their egos are so, our egos as Americans, we're so focused on our egos that we forget that we're human beings and that we can be wrong. I would have so much respect for a Trump supporter to, even if you wanted to private message me, say, you know what, Evan, look, I screwed up. I fucked up. I've been supporting this guy, and I, I realized I was wrong. And, I don't know what to do. And I would simply say, you know what? Love you. Let's go to the polls at November 3rd and fix this. Let's fix it.
It's a byproduct.
I really think that it speaks to a deep-seated, just inner turmoil that we have, not just as Americans.
Oh no. Oh, this hasn't happened for a while. Is it me or Evan is the question. Is it me or Evan? Evan? Ooh. It's apparently me. My friend.
There you are, man. There you are. See?
Are we still live streaming is the question.
We're still live streaming.
I don't know what just happened, but I'm back. So can we
I'm done. I'm done, man.
Okay.
We just solved all the problems. We solved them all.
I don't really recall what the last thing you said was.
That's okay. Neither do I.
Because alcohol and
alcohol,
AK-47 are our friends.
No, wow, that went dark really quick.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's bright and lovely. It's bright and lovely.
Oh man.
Um, so I'll watch back and see what was said, but I think my big takeaway is that last night was just so disappointing. No, no one should really come away feeling good about it, unless you are a political strategist. It's really hard to reflect on last night and have a post-mortem and be like, yeah. I mean, even the election commission is like, we're going to have to change the rules moving forward because we can't do that again. I'm not even sure what the purpose of another debate would be.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how anybody could watch that last night and change their opinion.
Mm.
Right? I mean, I guess Frank Luntz is, he's a Republican. He did a focus group last night and they watched, and, they were supposedly right-leaning undecided voters. Right. Yeah. Like Santa Claus.
Right.
But, supposedly a couple were like, I wasn't, I don't even think I like Biden all that much, but I can't vote for Trump because even though I might even agree with some of his policies, that's just not how you're supposed to behave. I don't know how much to buy into that kind of shit. What I'd like to think is that there are electoral college wise, I don't think it's going to be a landslide, but I think popular vote, it's not going to be close.
I would hope not.
I don't know how it could be. I think a lot of Republicans are just going to stay home. Yeah, they're not going to vote for Biden, which here's the sad thing. It's been reduced to such a, we've had one of our friends like, oh, it's the lesser of two evils.
Man.
No. I mean, one guy has served his country for basically his entire career. You can disagree with it. I can disagree with plenty of Republicans on policy and say, up until recently, I had a mad amount of respect for Lindsey Graham. Of course, he voted some ways I didn't want to, but I thought the guy was what you're supposed to be doing in with your position. Represent your constituency, meet the other side as much in the middle as you can, concede where you need to in order to get what you want. That was good politics to me. So I had a lot of respect for that. Obviously don't now. But until all this recent kerfuffle, if you will, the Republicans had a lot of respect for Joe Biden. They hated him once he became Obama's vice president because
I agree.
He's tinged now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all of a sudden, nah, you went too far hanging out with this guy. I can't let you do that. But up to that point, I mean, look, there's videos of John McCain and Lindsey Graham just like, we love Joe Biden. This is what this is how politics is supposed to work. This is why Congress works. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So this notion that all of a sudden like he's somehow unfit, and even like the last one, I'm sorry, you can dislike Hillary Clinton as a person all you want, and you can obviously be a Republican and be like, I don't like her policies.
She told us,
but I don't think that the only person who's probably ever had a better resume coming into applying for that job would have been George Herbert Walker Bush. Guy's career was magnificent. Director of the CIA. Politically, what more could you ask for?
What else do you want? Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
Ton of bona fides, degrees, experience. Hillary, wife of the president of the United States, who gets to see shit firsthand for 8 years.
First lady.
Then becomes a U.S. senator, and then becomes Secretary of State. So now she understands how the global diplomacy works. Literally, no other person has ever been more prepared, and she didn't get the office in the face of this guy. Joe Biden is remarkably qualified, if maybe not 5 years past his prime to have the job.
Sure.
I don't love that he will be the oldest president. I don't love it, right. And I don't love another old white guy in general. I think we can do better, but we're faced with a guy who can't denounce white supremacy versus a guy who overcame a stutter and spoke to you for 90 minutes on TV last night.
Yeah.
I don't get
Yeah.
it, folks. I don't hit me. I am fucking at me all you
no,
want, because I want
you know
you to
what?
tell me exactly what the hell I'm missing.
Well, what we're missing is this. We are missing my favorite segment of our show. Hey, Aaron, what's up? Hey, Aaron,
This
how you doing, man?
edition of Hey Aaron
Uh,
is sponsored by Roundup Candy Cigarettes. Roundup Candy Cigarettes. When you want that
yes, yes,
smooth, sugary flavor. Let's go,
and
Aaron.
and the SIM card tool for all of you spies out there, in
I
case
just
you need to
thought
get rid of your
that
SIM
was the
card real quick. But
world's
there you go.
smallest little dildo. Get at me.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Tonight, what we're doing is we are. I'm just, dude. I got to do it. I'm a geek at heart, and I'm going to take you there with me. You are going to decide whether these characters are Marvel or DC.
Oh, all right.
Okay. All right. So here we go, my friend. I'm going to share my screen.
Oh, I love the screen share.
See, I know. I'm telling you,
I
man.
love the screen share.
Told you. Told you. So
I think
I
Indy
am.
11 lost 1-0.
Dang it. That sucks. Okay, so here we go. Can you see? You can see,
I can.
right?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. All right. And I want to let me see. Can I see the video panel? Yes, I can see you now. Okay, here we go. So Poison Ivy is a DC or Marvel character.
DC, she's a Batman character.
You are absolutely correct.
Played by the lovely and stunning Drew Barrymore.
Yes, excellent. Where is Nightwing from? DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
And I can do the hint if you want.
Let's do the hint, but I already gave an answer, so go ahead.
We've eliminated some options for you. What? That makes no sense. Okay, so you say Marvel?
Yeah.
Okay. No, DC, my friend. Most commonly refers to Robin after he moves on from being Batman's sidekick.
Oh, you know what? I hate to say that. I've probably heard
Yes.
that, but
See,
obviously those comics were popular.
there you go. Who created Spider-Man?
Oh,
Come on.
Marvel. That's definitely
There you
Stan Lee.
go. Absolutely. Stan Lee is, yes, iconic.
Pure genius.
Next, Superman.
DC.
Yep, you got that one, sir.
Should have been like number one.
The
DC.
Penguin. You sure? You were right. I'm sorry. See what I did there? I was like, oh, you sure?
Marvel.
Loki. Dude, this is easy.
He's gonna have to get tougher.
The Hulk.
Marvel.
Dang it! I should
Now,
have.
I never watched the Eric Bana Hulk. Did you watch that one?
Oh, okay. So let's talk about this real quick.
Or the Edward Norton Hulk, which makes no sense.
That makes no sense whatsoever. I think Eric Bana did okay.
I like Ruffalo.
It's Mark Ruffalo's.
It's him. Well, and the way he's brought a certain level of like emotion to the character, and then the way they rendered him for Endgame was amazing. You know, the Hulk with the glasses, that's hysterical. But do you remember how many, like, the Hulk universe got absurd? They're like multiple Hulks and just outrageous.
No one will ever beat Lou Ferrigno, though, man. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry, dude. This is my thing. Batman.
DC, by virtue of all the previous questions.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is too easy.
Yeah, DC.
I should have previewed this. My bad, man.
It's okay. It's all right, man. It's all right.
Black Widow. Oh, wait. Can we just stop right here for a minute? Wait a minute. I got to read the question really close. Yeah. Black Widow is a part of which? I'm going to answer that for you.
Go right ahead.
My universe. No, sorry. Marvel. That's what it says. Marvel. Okay. Cap. Oh, jeez.
Marvel.
Is this made for a 4-year-old? Yeah, jeez. I'm sorry. My bad. This sucks. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna throw an audible. I'm gonna do an audible.
All right.
Look what just happened here. Can we guess if you root for? No. Don't want to do that. How well do you know the greatest upsets?
I'll
Oh,
take that challenge. I'll take that
okay.
challenge.
Here
Let's
you
see how
go.
this goes. How stuff
All right.
works. I got you. How stuff
How
works.
stuff works. Great. Okay, about the quiz. Here we go. Do you know which player from the New York Jets guaranteed a victory against the
Joe Namath. Can I kiss you?
LA Lakers had Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal when which team took them down in the 2004 NBA Finals? Ooh, that's interesting. I'm not sure I know that one. I think I do. I think I do. 2004.
Pistons.
I don't think so. I think it was the Bulls. Oh crap! You're right.
No,
Dang.
the Bulls have not
I'm
been
not.
good
Well,
since
I
Michael
meant
Jordan
Celtics.
left.
I meant Celtics. Celtics. My bad. My bad. Okay. What name was given to the 1969 New York's
Miracle
Met team?
Mets.
Dang. Despite being heavily favored, the Minnesota Vikings lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl IV. Where did the game take place? This is Tank Strand, by the way, and the play that won the game for them is 65 toss power trap. How I know that, I don't know.
This might be Super Bowl 4.
Yeah. Where did the game take place? Uma Thurman was poison ivy. Oh, Whitney, I'm sorry. I didn't even see you say that. Uma Thurman was poison ivy? Oh, she was.
So
She
Drew
was the
Barrymore
one.
was who's
Yeah, it wasn't Drew Barry. It was Schwarzenegger whenever he was Deep Freeze or Mr.
Yeah, but it
Freeze.
was Uma Thurman and Drew Barrymore were both in the movie. They're both the sidekicks for Two-Face.
Yeah, no. Okay. Okay. But anyway, getting back to this. Are you okay, dude?
Well, I thought about Drew Barrymore again.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say Los Angeles. No, Nolans.
That
Really?
I kind of was thinking that, but I mean,
Really?
I didn't
Dude.
know. I didn't know it. I didn't know it.
Oh.
Drew Barrymore was Sugar.
Sugar. Okay. Yeah. It was Uma.
Oh,
So
okay.
Whitney got us. Good job, Whitney. Good job.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's tear through the heavyweight division came to an end in 1990 when he was knocked out in which round by another American fighter, Buster Douglas.
10th.
Good job.
I was watching.
How far
that.
down?
I was watching that fight live, and
Yeah.
I believe I cried.
Wow. How far down in the series were the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2016 NBA
3-1.
Finals when it came back to defeat Golden State Warriors?
3-1. The only team to
Damn
ever
right.
do so.
Only team. Only team. Who was awarded the series MVP when Minnesota Twins defeated the Detroit Tigers in 1987 ALCS?
Tom Bernansky.
Gary Gaetti.
Why would anybody know that?
On what type of court did Roger Federer fail to win his sixth title in a row at the 2009 U.S. Open?
Seriously?
What?
Hard court.
It's got to be the shag. It's the shag carpet court.
I got you carpet court.
All right, and one more. The New England Patriots came into Super Bowl, don't tell me, 42. Yes? Am I Roman?
The New England Patriots came into Super Bowl.
Right? That's 42, right?
Oh,
I think I read that correctly.
Yeah.
Someone fact check us. No, with how many losses
0
on their resume? Yes. And they got waxed.
In Batman Forever,
Mhm.
Drew Barrymore was Sugar, and Debbie Mazar was Spice, which that is strange. Strange. So Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy in
Yes.
But in what movie? Because it's not that movie.
No, it's Batman and Robin. It was the one. Is that the one where Val Kilmer was?
Oh, that's
Batman?
Clooney. Isn't that Clooney?
Ah, crap. I don't know. I can't remember. That's been many beers ago, man.
Give me the cast. Wait.
Many beers ago.
Oh, wait.
Well, at any rate, while Aaron is surfing the internet for beautiful women, and looking at them.
Batman and Robin.
Yes. See, there you go. Get to the chopper.
It is George Clooney. It's George Clooney and
Whitney said yes. It's
Chris
Clooney.
O'Donnell. was Dick Grayson.
Oh.
His ward, Dick Grayson. Nothing inappropriate about that relationship whatsoever.
It sounds like a porn name. Anyway, as we come to the end of our show tonight, guys, listen, I'm going to let Aaron kind of send us home, but let me just say this. I know we're all tired. I know we're all like frustrated from last night, but hang in there, keep your chins up. Aaron, what do you got for us, man?
Roundup candy. Giddy up. Yeah, you know what, folks? We're a little emotionally exhausted from last night. You earned the hangover. I know I did. But today's the day of rest. Today's the day of recovering from it and take an assessment. And then we get back and get ready for the next one. And you keep fighting the fight every day. And
every damn day.
This is the lesson, I think, that needs to be learned. In 2008, well, no, let me go back even further. In 2000 and 2004, I was as disappointed on election day as I'd ever been in my life. I couldn't believe it. 2000 was bad, but 2004 was personally hurtful because it made me think, shit, we're a minority.
Mm-hmm.
That there's more than them of us. And then 2008 filled me with hope. In 2012, reinvigorated me. But we all got lazy. We all got satisfied. We all thought we won. And we didn't. It was good. It was good battlefield victory is what it was. But the war raged on, and we didn't pay attention to it, and it got out of control in a way that we weren't prepared for. And that has been made manifest for nearly 4 years now of just abject horror, a destruction of American values and our institutions. And in about 35 or 40 days, we have an opportunity to rectify that. And we damn well better, because if we don't, they're not just coming for the Jews or the gays or whoever. I think it could get real bad. I'm not being an alarmist. I'm telling you straight up. They've made it pretty clear. When somebody tells you who they are, listen to them the first time. These people don't have your best interests at heart. We have to take back control. And if that's 4 years of a milquetoast septuagenarian white dude in Joe Biden who has literally walked the middle of the road his entire life, then so fucking be it. Because after that, we maybe get Kamala. After that, maybe we get AOC. After that, maybe we get another fucking Barack Obama. I don't know, folks, but we got to take it back. We got to make sure we're heard. We got to make sure we make the decisions. And this isn't about retribution. I don't know if we prosecute people or not, but I'm not about getting revenge. I'm about straightening this shit out and getting us back on the right track to the American ideals that we proclaim to support and that we have absolutely betrayed for far too long. And one more time, you come for my friends, I come for you. Yep. Steph, that's Sam, it. Got your back. Friends and family out there, I got your back. I hope you got mine. Evan, I love you, my brother, and we are going to fight until the bitter fucking end. That's what I got tonight.
We're going to be sitting on this front porch, a couple of rocking chairs, smoking cigars, saying,
smoking
we did
your
this.
Candy cigarette.
Ladies cheers. And gentlemen, cheers. Been a pleasure. Love you, my friend.
Love you and love you all out there. Take care.